Alhamdulillah wassalatu wassalam ala rasulillah amma ba'd. Benefit number 35, taken from the book Jalal Afham of Ibn al-Qayyim's book, where he is talking about fi fadl salati wassalam ala Muhammad khairul anam, the merits and the virtues of sending peace and blessings upon the best of creation, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He says benefit al-khamis wa thalathun. Now this benefit here, my brothers and sisters, I feel is the best of the lot. Benefit number 35 from 40, this one here is potentially life-changing, because here, not only does he mention the merit and the virtue of sending peace and blessings upon him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but here he is actually mentioning something which is down to the core of the person who is worshipping Allah. Something which penetrates the heart, and like I said, it could change your life if you were to understand what he is saying. So let's read. Al-Khamis wa Thalathun, benefit number 35. أنها سبب لهداية العبد وحياة قلبه. When you make dua for him, Allahumma salli wa sallim ala nabiyyina Muhammad, and you increase in doing that, this is a means for you to gain guidance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and for your heart to find life. And for your heart to find life, your heart to become alive. And he'll explain now. فإنه كلما أكثر الصلاة عليه وذكره استولت محبته على قلبه. The more you remember Allah, and the more you make dua for the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, your heart will be conquered by the love of this man sallallahu alaihi wasallam. حتى لا يبقى في قلبه معارضة لشيء من أوامره, until nothing of opposition remains in your heart from which he came with. Anything he told us to do, you will do it. Anything he told us to stay away from, you will stay away from it. Why? Because of the fact that you are completely encaptured by the love of this man sallallahu alaihi wasallam. ولا يشك في شيء مما جاء به, and you will not even doubt for 1 minute anything that which he came with, no doubts whatsoever. بل يصير ما جاء به مكتوبا مسطورا في قلبه. Rather, you will live a life with what he came with imprinted on your heart. لا يزال يقرأه على تعاقب الأحوال ويقتبس الهدى والفلاح وأنواع العلوم منه. He will then continue to read and learn and study about all of his situations and his affairs. Whatever he said, whatever he did, you will want to be like him. وَيَقْتَبِسُ الْهُدَى, and you will want to borrow from the guidance that he has come with. وَالْفَلَاحِ, and the success that he has shown us. وَأَنْوَاعُ الْعُلُومِ, and all of the different disciplines and all of the different things that we can learn from him. The person will engage in that. Why? Where does it come from? وَكُلَّمَا ازْدَادَ فِي ذَلِكَ بَصِيرًا, and the more a person increases in basira and insight, وَقُوَّةً وَمَعْرِفَةً, and strength of iman, the more a person increases in insight and strength of iman, وَمَعْرِفَةً, and ilm and knowledge of the religion, ازْدَادَتْ صَلَاتُهُ عَلَيْهِ, he will then increase accordingly in sending peace and blessings upon him sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Look at what he's saying here. He is basically saying, rahimahullah, the more you worship Allah and make dhikr of him and make dua to him and make dua for your Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the more you will increase in hidayah, the more you will increase in ilm, the more you will increase and become a better person, a stronger person in your iman, a person who has hidayah, a person of success, a person who has a knowledge based on so many different aspects of the religion, not just one aspect. وَأَنْوَاءُ الْعُلُومِ مِنْهُ, he's saying here, so many different things you will learn from him sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You will find basira, you will find insight, you will find quwwah, you will find strength in your iman, and you will find ma'rifah, you will find an awareness of what he came with, of this religion, because of the fact that you are making dhikr of Allah and dua and sending peace and blessings upon him. وَلِهَذَا, and for this reason. Now pay attention to this, my brothers and sisters. This is the difference between my and your worship and the worship of the scholars. وَلِهَذَا كانت صلاة أهل العلم العارفين بالسنة وهديه المتبعين له عليه خلاف صلاة العوام عليه الذين حذهم منها إزعاج أعضائهم بها ورفع أصواتهم. he's saying here, for this reason, the fact that the people of ilm, send peace and blessings upon him, their worship in general, those people who know his sunnah, ilm, and they know his guidance, ilm, and they follow his sunnah and his guidance, ilm and action, khilafa salat al-awami alayh. This is different to the salat and the ibadah and the dua and the dhikr of the awam, of the lay people who have no knowledge. حظهم منها, their share of worship is that they raise their voices and they put themselves through rigorous pain in their bodies. They stress themselves out, and that's all they get. Their hearts are not moved. Their ilm has not increased. There is no increase in basira. There's no increase in quwwah. There's no increase in ma'rifah. There's no increase in huda. All they have done is they've paid lip service, as he will go on to say. وَأَمَّا اتِّبَاعُ الْعَارِفِينَ بِالسُّنَّةِ, as for those people who know his sunnah and they follow it, الْعَالِمُونَ بِهِ وَعَالِمُونَ بِمَا جَاءَ بِهِ, and they know what he came with. فَصَلَاتُهُ عَلَيْهِ نَوْعٌ آخر, as for their salat upon him, as for their worship in general, this is a complete different category. فَكُلَّمَا ازْدَادُوا فِيمَا جَاءَ بِهِ مَعْرِفَةً, the more they have ilm of what he came with, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, ازْدَادُوا لَهُ مَحَبَّةً, they will increase in love, ma'rifah, in knowledge, بِحَقِيقَةِ الصَّلَاةِ الْمَطْلُوبَ لَهُ مِنَ اللَّهِ, in the very essence of making salat, and the very reason as to why a person would make salah, and the very reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has commanded us to make salah upon him. وَهَكَذَا, and likewise. كُلَّمَا كَانَ الْعَبْدُ بِهِ أَعْرَفْ وَلَهُ أَطْوَعْ وَإِلَيْهِ أَحَبْ. The more knowledge a servant has of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the more obedient he will be of him, and the more beloved he will become to Allah. كان ذكره غير الذكر الغافلين واللاهين. This person's dhikr, the person of ilm, the person of amal, the person of actions, the person of akhlaq, the person of ibadah, this person's dhikr will not be like those people who are negligent and those people who are just messing around. وَهَذَا أَمْرٌ إِنَّمَا يُعْلَمْ بِالْخُبَرِ لَا بِالْخَبَرِ. This point, Ibn al-Qayyim is saying here, is recognized through experience, not by book knowledge. We can't tell you these things. You can only experience these things. وَفَرْقٌ بَيْنَ مَنْ يَذْكُرُ صِفَاتِ مَحْبُوبِهِ الَّذِي قَدْ مَلَكَ حُبَّهُ جَمِيعَ قَلْبِهِ وَيُثْنِي عَلَيْهِ بِهَا وَيُمَجِّدُ بِهَا وبين من يذكرها إما إثارة وإما لفظا لا يدري ما معنى لا يطابق فيه قلبه لسانه. He's saying here, rahimahullah, there is a big difference between a person who remembers Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala based upon ilm, and that ilm and that dhikr covers a person's heart with love and obedience, and it exalts Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He has awe of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as a result of that obedience and that knowledge. Compare that to a person who remembers Allah and worships Allah without ilm, without proper action. The Shaykh is saying here, imma ithara, the person is just doing it, it's just got, he's just going through the motions, or imma lafza, or he's just paying lip service. La yadri ma ma'na, he has no idea as to what he is saying. And he is not able to apply what is supposed to be applied through that dhikr into the tongue of his heart, or onto the tongue of his heart. كما أنه فرق بين بكاء النائحة وبكاء الثقلة. Likewise, there is a difference between a person who cries out of wailing, ignorance, jahiliyyah, and a person who cries with modesty when they have been afflicted with something. فذكره صلى الله عليه وسلم, remembering him, sending dua, or making dua for him, and sending peace and blessings to Allah upon him. وذكر ما جاء به وحمد الله تعالى على إنعام علينا ومنة بإرساله صلى الله عليه وسلم هو حياة الوجود وروح. when a person remembers the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and he praises Allah for sending to us a messenger from his favor, so that this person recognizes the favor of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala over us, that he has sent Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this person, he is alive. His soul is alive. Kama qil, and then he uses a piece of poetry to summarize his point. روح المجالس ذكره وحديثه وهدى لكل ملدد حيران وإذا أخل بذكره في مجلس فأولئك الأموات في الحيان. The soul of a person's gathering is to remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to talk about Allah and His religion and Hidayah. This is something that everyone who is misguided is missing. And if the dhikr of Allah and the hidayah of Allah is missing from our gatherings, فَأُولَٰئِكَ الْأَمْوَاتُ فِي الْحِيَانِ, these people are dead whilst they are alive. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, amazing benefit here from Ibn al-Qayyim, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He has mercy on him and that He allows us to have ilm of His religion and ilm of the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and that He gives us hidayah and He gives us falah and He gives us nur and He gives us the ability to have hearts which are alive. Wallahu a'lam. Wa sallallahu ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in.